Today we're discussing time management strategies for creatives and other solopreneurs. Creatives and solopreneurs have time management challenges that no other workers have due to the nature of their work. In today's video, we'll discuss those challenges and provide tailored and specific time management strategies so that you get the most return for your investment of time. Let's get started. Thanks for tuning in today. If you're new to my site, please take a moment and subscribe by clicking the button down below. We're talking time management strategies for creatives and other solopreneurs. Specifically, I want to address the vast majority of us who are still scrambling like crazy to develop that name recognition and following. Most of us have not been discovered yet. We don't have 100,000 followers on social media. And while I'm sure that those who have made it deal with their own time management issues, those time management challenges aren't the same as the ones you face when you're still looking to grow your base following or clientele. We all dream of making it big. We're creatives because we love what we do and we think we have something of value to share with the world. Here are some of the time management challenges we as creatives face. Time management challenge number 1. We have at least 2 main jobs. One of those jobs is producing our art, and the other job is selling it. Setting aside for a moment that those bodies of work require significantly different mindsets and skill sets, the bottom line is that you've got to do it all. You must create, and you must sell, and you must do any of the other tasks associated with growing your art as a business. Management challenge number 2. As a solopreneur, by definition, there is little accountability for how you spend your time. No one watching you punch in, no one making sure you keep after it. Yes, as you get more paid work, you'll have more hard deadlines and clients who expect you to produce on schedule. But initially, you may not have anyone to whom you have to give account. While that freedom can be exhilarating, it can also mean that we're less productive than we need to be. Time management challenge number 3, knowing when you can call it quits for the day. It is about you. You do have to do all that needs to be done, which means that there is always more to do and none of it's really easy. Creating is hard work. Selling is hard work. And if you're like me, you feel guilty about anything that is left undone. However, when you go beyond a certain point, you just run out of gas. So when can you stop? Finally, time management challenge number 4, and this may be the toughest one. As I mentioned, it is about you, and you have to keep showing up. On a daily basis, you're putting your work out there for the world's consumption and its criticism. What you create and put out there is directly tied to your identity. Even the most secure of us are going to feel the pressure of continually being vulnerable. Let me be real here. We're going to be scared at some level. We think we have put something of value together that we've shared with the world, but we haven't yet developed the following that affirms how great we are. We're getting a mix of some positive feedback, some criticism, and a whole lot of silence relative to the energy we're putting into the work. On top of all that, most of us hear this insidious inner voice from time to time that says, "You're not good enough. You're an imposter." So why is that a time management challenge? It's tough to keep putting yourself out there, particularly when there are other demands related to being creative in business. It's easier to be distracted, to put off that hard work, to let the next video or blog or photo shoot or other creative work slide to next week or the next or the week after that. And if it happens long enough, you're no longer creating. Those are the particular time management challenges that creatives and solopreneurs face. Given these challenges, what are effective time management strategies that they might employ Time management strategy number one, because it is on you, do the roles exercise. If you viewed either of my two previous videos in this time management series, time management strategies for work and time management strategies for managers, you know that I see this as the fundamental time management task. You look at your work and brainstorm all of the roles that you must address. From that list, you identify which of the roles need your attention in the near term. Time frame of a week works pretty well. And then you specify specific actions which will be effective in producing success in that role. Here's my example from the first time management video. I looked at my roles, relationships. I identified these 6 roles which need my attention regularly. In that first video, I shared how for that particular week, the roles of father and creative needed to take center stage. I then identified effective action for each one of them. It was attending the city council presentation for my daughter, and it was devoting time to video production for my creative role. I put both of these big rocks into my calendar. Now, last week we did the video time management strategies for managers, and I explained the 4 roles that every manager should review on a regular basis: vision caster, team builder, accountability manager, people developer, and doer. These are specific to managers because they guide an entire organization. Now, as a creative or a solopreneur, your reality is fundamentally different. Earlier, I said that one of the challenges that you face is that you have 2 main jobs, creation and sales. I'd like to put a finer point on that by defining 4 major roles that you as a solopreneur must address. They include creative production and delivery. This is the work you want to do. If you're a musician, it's making music. If you paint, it's creating that next Mona Lisa. In my case, it includes the consulting, coaching, training, other methods whereby I produce, deliver value to my clients. The second role is sales. In this role, you identify potential buyers. You develop relationships with them. You learn about their specific desires and needs, and you negotiate in their time frame a suitable exchange of value. You get the sale. The third role is marketing. Now, marketing is about creating that brand image that initially develops interest from the broader public about your product or service. When I speak at conferences, I'm fulfilling my marketing role. The challenge is that you've got to be good at both marketing and sales, and if you do both of those roles really well, you'll actually be able to do the work that you love, which is your creative work. Finally, there are various support and other duties that are required that enable you to create your art and to get customers. Developing a sales spreadsheet, doing web maintenance, doing accounting. All of these would fall into that support role. Now, back to time management strategy number 1, do the roles exercise. Review your roles, including the ones that I just had up on the screen. Determine which of these roles need your attention in this coming week and what effective action will be. Put those actions on your calendar to block off the time. This way, ensure that you're making progress in the multiple areas that need your attention. Time management strategy number 2, develop accountability partners. An accountability partner is someone with similar interests and goals with whom you meet on a regular basis, share progress, and swap ideas for continuous improvement. When I lived in Georgia a few years ago, I and a few others formed SMUG, S-M-U-G, which stood for Social Media Users Group. We met every week at a local Starbucks at 6:30 a.m. to talk about how we were using and growing our social media marketing efforts. So, who makes for a good accountability partner? Look for someone who is in the same or similar field who has a slightly different focus, as it can be a bit tough to be totally open and sharing and learning when the person with whom you're speaking is a direct competitor. In our SMUG group, we had, besides myself, we had a banking consultant, a meeting planner, and a coach, for example. I'm thinking right now of a friend and colleague just down the road in Oklahoma City with whom I'd have no problem setting up a relationship like this, because while we both work in the area of culture change, he focuses primarily on speaking at conferences while I focus on consulting to executive teams. So look for those in similar fields with similar goals at roughly the same stage of business growth, and you'll plug a hole in regard to accountability. The simple act of getting to know someone, showing up on a regular basis, and reporting out about your progress, whatever that progress is, will make it much more likely that you'll get real progress. And if no one in particular comes to mind for you, start with the local chapter of your professional organization to look for potential accountability partner candidates. Management strategy number 3. Establish your personal routine. Set and adhere to particular times in your week where you will address regular and recurring parts of your work, barring an irregular big rock that needs to take precedence. Assuming I don't have client meetings scheduled, I prefer to do my business development work on Tuesday afternoons and Wednesday morning when my prospects are likely to be more available. I typically do my creative work, on the other hand, on Friday afternoons and Saturday mornings for the relative peace and quiet that those times afford. On a daily basis, set regular waking times, workout times, work time, eating times, and quitting time. There will always be more work that isn't finished at the end of the day, but unless it needs to be delivered to the client first thing in the morning, hold to your schedule. These weekly and daily rhythms will help you maintain your energy, be more productive, and relax when it's time to relax. Time management strategy number 4. Encourage yourself. In my opinion, the biggest challenge facing creatives who haven't yet made it to the big leagues is in keeping the faith. That is, continuing to produce and learn and grow and perfect their art until they get the flywheel to start turning. You get too little feedback, and given the anonymity of social media, the feedback we often receive is overly harsh. This can be discouraging. So to encourage yourself, that is to continue to recharge your courage batteries so that you keep stepping up to the plate to take another swing. First, hear the critical feedback and then let it go. It is just one person's opinion. If you start hearing similar messages from lots of different sources, then maybe you need to take some action. But in the meantime, take it for what it is, just one data point. Second, have a trusted advisor to help you make sense of the feedback you receive. Sometimes comments stick in your craw, you get hooked, and you become reactionary. Your trusted advisor can help you look at your warts, but will also remind you about the gifts that you really do have to give to the world. My trusted advisor is my wife, Melissa. She can tell it to me straight. She's also my biggest fan. Third, keep those good notes that you receive. You need them, you deserve them. I have a folder in my Outlook that I call Keepers. I turn to it from time to time when I need to get a recharge and a reminder about my gifts and what it is that I'm bringing to the world. I assume that if you're still watching, you're a creative or other solopreneur. Kudos to you for swimming in the deep end of the pool. You're not an imposter, no matter how much that voice of insecurity accuses you. Keep learning, keep growing, keep bringing what you have to the world. Use these time management strategies for creatives and other solopreneurs to help you keep up the good fight and to help you get the success that you are striving for and that you deserve. That's it for today. We've been talking time management strategies for creatives and other solopreneurs. I'd love to hear your comments, particularly if you are a creative or solopreneur. What time management strategies work for you? Finally, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Your click of that button is a wonderful gift. So please subscribe and click on the bell so that you receive notification whenever I put out a new video. Share this video with other solopreneurs and tune in next time. We have a few more videos in production in our time management series. Until then, be well.